Welcome back to the Dota Radio Morning Show. It's been a little while since we've seen you guys. We took a week off, but we're here back, almost in full swing. We'll be off this Wednesday for Christmas Day, but after this week, the schedule will resume like normal. Remember, guys, you can tweet at us live during the show at Sayori TV, at the Dota Radio, the Dota Radio, at Monolith Dota, and at Hippie Casting. It is December 23rd, episode 22, and boy, do we have a good one. Mott going to be joining us once again. We're going to talk some NA Dota action. We're going to talk BTS and all sorts of other Mott-related topics. We're back with the usual suspects, though. I'm Sayori, your show host. We've got Hippie on the analysis desk, and we've got Monolith, our master of communications. Fellas, it's been too long since we last chatted. What is the good word?
Good word is Dota, isn't it always?
It is if you want it to be.
Don't you give me
actually like
that
Wraith Knight.
hippie bullcrap?
I
Charlie
actually
likes Wraith Knight. Stop the
Wraith
fucking
Knight.
presses.
All right. Opening thoughts. Charlie, please tell us of your plight to conquer the Wraith Knight.
So I actually like that mode. It's kind of fun. I have a weak spot for like hero siege defense type things. And that's all. I feel a lot of shame.
Well, I'm gonna jump in here and say the primary difference in my mind is that they made a new game mode pretty much entirely instead of trying to shoehorn weird shit into a regular Dota game. Like, oh look, you steal candy from each other. It's so much fun. And instead, it's like, okay, here's a hero siege. We've modified the abilities to, like, these are the hero models you know and love, but they're going to work a little bit differently, etc. Kind of like every custom map did for Warcraft 3. It's like, oh, look, you know the reason I loved Anti-Mage so much? Because Illidan was my fucking boy in Warcraft 3.
Yeah, you guys
So
got
Anti-Mage and
shit.
Terrorblade were my favorite goddamn heroes.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, these guys look really cool. They do completely different stuff, but I don't care. So it's that kind of effect. You know, you love these heroes. They're your friends. You've hung out with them for a while. And now they're just doing something a little different, but it's still something fun instead of being the same thing with weird, stupid twists.
Yeah. I played one game of Wraith Knight, and I had an okay time. I felt okay about myself afterwards. My team was really mad at me for not helping them enough and not using my abilities properly as Axe, but we won. We conquered the Wraith Knight, so I guess it was good. I don't know. I got some fragments. I don't really know what to do with them. I got a whole bunch, though, like 900 of those biddies.
You redeemed that.
Yeah.
You farm more is what you do.
Farm more and then trade in 10,000 of them for some crappy uncommon that no one gives a shit about anyway.
Actually, if you have the if you're getting the shining fragments, save up for the recipe and then just dunk all your phantom fragments into the offerings so you can craft corrupted stuff.
All right.
That's what I'm doing, at least. I'm not sure that's actually a good idea with market values, but I'd rather have the cool corrupted items.
I don't do the item thing, man. I don't know. I have a cool looking Dazzle set. My Furion has some pretty sick items that were strange, and now they count my kills, and I like it. Too bad I suck with Furion. So, all right. Opening thoughts here. What else do we have? I gotta give a shout out to Cyborg Matt. He hooked me up with a nice Christmas gift. He gave me the Cyborg Matt HUD, which of course I realize is a tricky little scheme so that I would use it on BTS, and I'm sure he's selling more of them, but still, I appreciate it. It's a cute HUD, and shout out to my man Cyborg Matt. He's still killing it like usual. So today we have an interesting bout of topics to cover, and we have a lot of individual pieces that probably won't take too much time. And of course we have Mott coming on to join us. We'll probably bring him on a little bit earlier than usual because he's been here before. He's an awesome guy, and he's a talkative individual. Also, he likes to use his camera. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of a nip. You never know. We're going to start off though with roster changes because oh boy have they been coming aplenty. First one up. LGD International, looking as if they may disband. Misery and PieCat have sort of left the team. I don't know that it's actually official. They may still be contracted, but they were standing in with SSD in starladder last week. Or, yeah, I guess it is last week. Today's Monday. And that's about it. I don't even have a link to a news article for this one. Charlie, give us some insight here on the LGD scandal.
Well, pretty sure Misery and PieCat hated being over there. I really disliked being with that team for a variety of reasons. And I guess once PieCat couldn't get his visa, he was just like, fuck this, I'm done. I think his contract probably ended at the end of the year, like most. So and LGD, I mean, Ruru is really nice. So she's probably just like, I don't want to keep you if you're not,
You're not digging.
yeah, if you're not happy, so I'm gonna let you go. You do whatever. And then Misery said the same, because he and Pycat are really close, so he's just like, all right, I'm out too. And they both went back to Sweden/Denmark,
Sweden.
and now they're kicking it with SSD, which notably has also disbanded.
Yeah, they're sort of kicking it with SSD. They were standing in, and then we saw SSD yesterday playing against Navi, and Pycat and Misery were not standing in. So I don't know if that was just a tryout thing and it was short-lived, if they were just not happy with the other players from SSD. Sneaking didn't play yesterday either, so all sorts of issues coming about with SSD. And that actually takes us to our next point. SSD to disband! Arise and come with me. Have said that they will finish out Starladder Season 8, though, because, of course, their team is still in the round robin, and they're going to keep playing. I have mixed feelings about it, honestly. At this juncture, I almost feel like, what's the point? You're like, you guys with 3 random stand-ins, you're not going to be able to beat the teams that don't have stand-ins, that have been actually playing hard and training together. I appreciate the sentiment, but there's already enough one-sided matches in the 16-team round robin of Starladder. Do we really need to add more with team stand-in? I don't know. Maybe I'm just salty because I'm tired. But I guess it's a nice gesture. SSD going to try and continue out their run in Starladder. Charlie, again, this one falls under your jurisdiction. Do you have any insight? We interviewed Sneaking a couple weeks ago, and he seemed pretty confident in the powers of the strong dinosaurs.
Well, yeah, I talked to him yesterday. Talked to him yesterday. So, I know I've heard a variety of things from more or less most of those players. And it just comes down to the fact that they all didn't like playing with each other. Arise and Come With Me are I guess have a reputation for being very hard to work with.
Okay.
Snaking said it was not his fault. I've heard lots of different things from different people. But I think for the record, I do think Snaking has gotten a lot better, and he's grown up a lot, and he's tried. I think Pycat and Misery were just not fans, I guess, of his playstyle.
Mm-hmm.
And then Arise and Come With Me were just apparently whiners.
Oh.
But I will say though, oh my god, fuck, what the fuck?
It's an emergency, uh-oh.
I don't know. I will say though that, actually I have no idea who called me. I will say though that Zai, who's on the SSD roster, is super legit, and
really,
and from when I've talked to him, he's been like a really nice guy. From what I've seen, and when he played with Dignitas, he's an up and coming star. So watch out for that guy, and he's super young, so he has a lot of time.
He's really young. He's like 16 or something, maybe 17. I know that he was 15 back in the days of Han when he was winning Dream Hacks. So now he's got to be
17.
17, yeah, there you go. Math.
He's super legit. He's legit.
It's funny that you say that, because I've noticed that Zai and PPD have not been playing with the team over the past few days when they had the other stand-ins. And my next talking point was going to be how the Han players are still having trouble committing to teams. They were on SSD for like a grand total of a week and a half's worth of Starladder round robins before they were already getting replaced by stand-ins, aka Pycat and Misery. So I guess I'll eat my words on that one. PPD, I don't know, but I mean, Zai is a very skilled player. He's young. I guess he has a long future. I don't know. He's made fun of my balls more than most other people, so I guess I'm salty towards him. I'm not fucking around, man. I remember when it happened. He was like leading the cavalry of making jokes about toilet paper and smells and all sorts of other things, and I'm holding on to the saltiness. I maintain some salt. So, all right, let's move forward. Positive note here. E-Hug, what a nice name. Isn't that sweet? I think we need to get more organizations with Hug in them into esports here, because it just has a nice ring to it. They will be sponsoring Pretty Boy Swag here coming up in 2014. Very exciting for kind of an array of reasons. One, we see a new sponsor coming into Dota. That's exciting. Esports in general, I suppose. E-Hug is not a company I'm familiar with. But Pretty Boy Swag, an up-and-coming North American team, is what makes this super exciting. And we've got their roster over here. It is going to be Sleesel, Ryu, Uberuz, Cakes, I'm a Sheep, and Pandago. So it's going to be exciting. We were supposed to have Ryu on today, and then we were going to have Pandago on, and then they both said, wait, I said yes, but I didn't really mean it. I can't. So we got Mott instead. But Mott knows these guys, and he's an NA Dota guy. So that's pretty exciting. I don't know, Charlie. Thoughts? Does eHug have a website? Because I was trying to find it to give them a little plug here. Like, hey, check these guys out. They're sponsoring stuff. And I honestly couldn't find it. I don't even know what is eHug. Do you have a link?
They have a Facebook. They have a Facebook page.
Oh, here it is. TeamEHug.com. An error while processing this directive. This is their website. Not off to a good start. Okay, but they have a Facebook, Charlie. If you have a link, I'll show it here.
Yeah, it's basically the Facebook is. I'm not sure what the Facebook is. To be honest, there's not that much to look at on the Facebook page. There's some pictures from their team house, but
do you know where the team house is going to be?
It's in New York.
New York. Hey, that's right near Mott.
Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, it's in the first line of the article. My bad.
Yeah, so it's like eHug is basically like a group of, I think it's 30-something-ish professionals, and apparently they're young professionals, and they have a lot of money, they have a lot of capital, and they really like Dota, so they decided, hey, we're going to do this right, we want to support the NA scene, so we're going to take all this capital that we have, and we're going to put it towards a team and sponsor these.
It's not too bad. $1,000 a month salary, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's $1,000 a month. That's more than some players make.
Gee, that was a bold statement. They make more than some other people. Okay, I'm.
They really think, and I hope some of those people are listening to the show right now.
Okay, that's better.
I know exactly who you're targeting.
That narrows it down a lot more. All right, now we're getting into the good stuff. Oh boy, for those of you on the audio-only stream, you're missing out. Twitch chat's what's happening right now. But it's exciting. That's good for North American Dota. We've been sort of asking over the past couple months, you know, is the stuff from MLG going to make a difference in North American Dota? Is the scene going to continue to grow? And, well, this is one piece of evidence arguing for that indeed North American Dota is on the rise. And jokes aside, $1,000 a month salary per player is actually not that bad. Especially if you're living in a gaming house where your costs of living are basically nothing. You get your computer, got your internet, they give you food, and you don't have to pay rent. If you have all that paid for, $1,000 a month is actually pretty good. That's a pretty high value worth of stuff that you're getting. So, label me jelly, man. Congratulations to Pretty Boy Swag. And now they have a real team name, too. I was never a fan of Pretty Boy Swag as a team name.
To be honest, I like that better than eHug.
I don't know. Maybe it's my inner queer coming out, but I think eHug is adorable. I think it's so cute, and it's just so nice.
I mean, I guess you can chant that at a LAN, sort of. eHug, eHug.
Yeah, see, there you go. They can make a whole thing about giving hugs. Nah, that's a dangerous precedent. But I don't know. It's cool.
Swag.
Swag.
It would have worked.
Oh man, so yeah, and actually they made a Reddit thread here. I got the screen cap open and the text is kind of small here. Let me zoom in for you guys, give you the old magnifying glass. So here we see the baseline $1,000 a month, a furnished game house located in New York City. Do you know what part of New York? Is it in Manhattan? Is it in the Bronx? What are we talking about here? Yeah, nobody knows. Okay.
It's in Brooklyn or something.
Brooklyn, nice. I'll have to come up and visit. Groceries and cleaning, that's nice. Health, they even get health insurance, man. Travel costs, computer equipment, the vast majority of tournament winnings and stream revenue, additional bonuses tied to other stuff. That's pretty solid. Health insurance. I don't know many esports players or competitors that have health insurance. That's nice. Look at these guys. Sharing is caring, you know. So, very exciting for Pretty Boy Swag. Let's move forward here. We've still got a lot of talking points to plow through. Cinderin. Oh, my buddy Cinderin. He was on the docket to be a guest today, but unfortunately his holiday started today. He's actually on an airplane right now, I think. He is going to retire as a competitive player, though. Not a big surprise, as he's been casting with me on BTS for the past week and a half. And he made it official on December 19th was the day here. We've got this up as well. Hey everyone, I decided to step down as a competitive player. I'll be focusing on commentating from now on and continue on running my personal stream. I'd like to make it clear I'm still a part of Mouse Sports, albeit not in the role of a professional player from now on. Oh boy, oh boy. So that's kind of big news. I guess he hasn't been playing all too much recently, but I like Cinderin as a caster, man. I've always said that I think him and Gods are the two guys that really stand out in terms of having true competitive experience and also having really good English and sort of top-notch play-by-play commentary as well. Two guys that I think truly can solo cast and give you the best of both worlds in one package. And I'll second my own notion here, as I had the privilege of casting with him, and he is one knowledgeable bloke, I have to say.
Making me feel really jealous right now.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry, Chris.
Well, I've known for a long time, you know, there are plenty of people better than I am. I just kind of fill in when they're not around.
Yeah. Like today! Yay!
Hey, that's what I do.
Yeah. So, nothing is set in stone with Cinderin, though. I know a lot of people have been like, oh my god, he's on BTS and not joined Dota. Are these shots fired? Literally, no. There are no shots to be fired. JD just hired the capitalist. He's posted about it on his Facebook a few times. Apparently, he'd have to move to Berlin, and he doesn't want to do that. So, I think he was really just standing in with BTS just as like, hey, I want to start casting again. And it worked out well because Merlini had to step out to be a part of the move to the new BTS studio. So, it actually, the timing was just about spot on to just swap out Merlini for Cinderin. And that's where we're at. So we're just going to continue chugging along here, just things we needed to make mention of. Now this one, Charlie, you're going to have to take away once again. Speed Gaming, your good buddies, EE-sama, they're extending their stay in China to play in this tournament that, I don't know, it's like, oh, shit, I hate when I do that. Clicked on the wrong one. In this tournament, is it Fengyun? Is that right? It's just pronounced like
yeah, basically.
Fengyun? Fengyun?
Fengyun.
Fengyun.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
They've stayed in our, they've
Remember
stayed...
that I'm not racist comment?
Yeah, I know,
Don't do
it's
that.
getting worse. But yeah, they're staying in China longer. What was their original schedule? This is like a really short article. I caught the tail end of this. What was their original schedule, and how long have they added to their stay in China?
So originally, actually, they were supposed to come back January 20th. And
oh, wow, that's far off.
Well, because they needed enough time to what's it called, play in the G League finals if they made it that far. But unfortunately, they didn't.
Right.
And I don't think that result was too disappointing. They put up some good results against good teams, and they showed they could, hang with the Chinese teams. So right. I don't think that's too disappointing. And then, so after they lost, they decided, we're just going to come back for Christmas. There's no point in staying in China for any longer. So they're going to come back on the 23rd-ish, around that time. But then Fengyun was like, Fengyun only ends around the 27th, 28th. So they're like, all right, we'll stay for that. It's another thing to play in.
Right.
So they're slated to come back around the 28th, 29th.
Okay. All right. How does that work in terms of making travel arrangement? Isn't it like extra expensive to just sort of buy plane tickets sort of willy-nilly at a moment's notice like that? Or is that just something the sponsors have to deal with and the players don't? Or is it not that big of a deal?
G League is footing the bill for everything, so I don't know. They got that dirty Chinese esports cash.
Now who's racist? Jeez.
It's not racism.
I know. I'm just kidding, man. I'm trying to fire shots here. So that's pretty exciting. We'll see how well are they doing in Fengyun. I have not been watching it. It's not on my schedule.
They haven't started yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like,
So
the first round, they play some tier 3 Chinese team or something, and then they play Tongfu in the next round.
I gotcha. All right. So it should be exciting. I think actually, speak of the devil, I think Mott is casting that. I think he was casting it this morning. With base
He was.
Yeah, so we can talk to Mott about that once he comes on here. Actually, maybe I should put that in the notes so I don't forget about it. Yeah, let's see. Fengyun.
Well, Siori does that. If you guys follow certain people on Twitter, somebody else moved to Berlin. Not the capitalist.
Wait, did I miss this?
You gonna stop teasing us, or are you gonna
Do you know
give
who
us
it is, Chris?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna stop teasing, but I'm not gonna reveal anything else.
Can you link me the Twitter?
I can't.
Is it somebody that I... If it's on Twitter, it's already public knowledge, sort of.
Well, yeah, but then I make it obvious.
Jeez, I don't know who
to
it
us
is.
Damn it, Charlie! At least look it to me so I can be in on this. We're supposed to be a united front here as the non-primary hosts. Come on.
I have been sworn to secrecy.
All right, fair enough. I'm sure we'll know
Sworn
before
to secrecy
too long.
about a tweet. Yeah.
I really
wow.
don't know who it is though.
Well, if I tell you who the tweet is, it's pretty obvious what's happening.
Can you tell us what country the person is from that's moving to Berlin?
No.
That's not that big of a giveaway, man. There's a lot of countries out there. I'm waiting for Twitch chat to figure it out, but nobody seems to have it on lockdown.
I don't know, Sam. Do your work.
Somebody says it's milk.
Well, I mean, Toby did say they were looking for like an expert.
Yeah, it's got to be like a pro player of some
that,
sort,
yeah.
or somebody. Maybe it's milk. I don't know. I guess I'm not plugged into the Twitterverse, man. I don't know. I thought I was doing pretty well on Twitter, but now Charlie has shattered all of my confidence on that front.
Yeah, it looks like it is probably.
Oh,
Melons
milk.
and stuff like. After moving, all my Twitter suggestions are German celebrities.
All
It's
right.
not all that bad. Imagine if it was North Korea I'd move to.
What?
Oh, really?
Oh.
That's not what I was referring to, but...
Yo, Charlie getting dunked.
Charlie getting dunked.
What was it? Ha ha ha.
Let me pull up
Anyways,
Melk's Twitter here. After moving, oh yeah, I see the tweet you're talking about here. Let's screen cap this. Look at this. Here it is. I bet it's Melk, but who knows? We'll let you guys tease it. You guys can figure it out. Talk amongst yourselves. That's what Twitch chat is for, after all, right? So, all right, moving forward. This is close to our... Well, I had this as a point. This isn't even really a talking point. Starladder Season 8 Round Robin is still underway, guys. We're on day 23, and we're not sure who's going to be in the top 4. So not too much to report, but it's actually getting pretty heated. This Round Robin is looking closer than last season, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to pull up the standings here, take a look how things are. We can just glance at this very quickly. Alliance and Na'Vi tied in first place, 11-3 right now. Rock's Kiss and Sigma doing very, very well, both sitting 9-2. Also, Fnatic looking good, 8-3. They've played the least amount of games compared to most of the other teams. And other than that, it's pretty straightforward. SSD is the only one that was kind of weird. I was sad to see them disband because they were doing so well in Starladder. They were 7-2. And yesterday they lost. They might have lost 2 games yesterday. I've already forgotten. But of course they had stand-ins aplenty. But they were playing really well. I think they were definitely in the running to make it into the top 4, though it still would have been difficult for them. But
they were like 6-1 or something.
Yeah, they had a really good opening record, and they kind of threw it away. But the bottom 2, not so bad. Aspera and Forefronts and Krilly will take it because they both did disband during the round robin, so that will keep these other teams safe from dropping down. That is good news. I think that maybe not completely safe, but yeah, not too much to report on that front. It's still very close. A lot of things can happen as we still have 7 days left in the round robin. Now, this is the real talking point for the day. That's interesting. It's not actually talking points, but our real discussion point, I suppose, not just reporting on something that happened. This MLG announcement, MLG.TV is going to become a platform for the big-time streamers, just for the big-time players, but they're going to turn it into more of a public platform here. And here is our screen cap of the article on Gamers. And the requirements are pretty steep. You need to be a professional team, ranked top 8 in the world. You have to hold a concurrent viewers average of at least 5,000. You'd have 500,000 social media likes and whatnot combined, or be an event operator with, like, you know, some legit live stream equipment. When I first read this, I was really surprised because I thought MLG was just building this in-house system so that they weren't relying on Twitch and they had more control over the quality and all this kind of stuff. And it turns out their plan is to start building a platform which others can use, which is just not something I thought MLG was going to do. Now, my question for you fellas is, how big of a deal is this? How many people does this truly impact? And I feel like most of the people that meet these requirements already have their own thing going on. They're contracted with Twitch, and it's not like BTS will just wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, why don't we give this MLG platform a try? You know, once you have subscriber mode and all that stuff with Twitch, man, you've got contracts aplenty. You're kind of locked in. Is this a big deal? Do you guys see any big tournaments or organizers actually utilizing this platform that MLG has put before us?
Yes. Yes, this is a big deal. I talked to Adam about this.
All right, go on.
After this is a huge deal. It's they're targeting premium streamers with premium content. And I guess the difference between Twitch and MLG TV is that the money that you'll make off of MLG TV is probably going to be more, because the ad fill rate for MLG TV is so much higher than it is for Twitch. Like Twitch, every time you press commercial, you might not get a commercial, you might not actually make money off of that. With MLG, you pretty much will. So, just because the fill rate for that is so much higher, just everything, I guess.
Is the global fill rate higher, or just the North American EU fill rate higher? Because Twitch has pretty good North American fill rate. It's once you get into the other countries where things get kind of sticky.
I think it's the North American EU fill rate. I think it's everything is higher. And so, I mean, I can't go into numbers, but it's more money.
It's more money. Well, yeah, and they have that fancy ad block thing, so that they like MLG has more ad block protection, I guess is an okay word. So less people are blocking your ads via ad block, though. Given that we don't know what MLG's numbers were like, I'm kind of curious how much that actually deters people. If you can't use ad block, is there like, how big is that group of people that are really upset that they can't use ad block and boycott the stream as a result?
They really shouldn't be, because those ads are what, you know, powers the content that you love to watch. So turn off ad block.
Well, sure. No, I'm not talking like you know, ideally or philosophically. I just mean like tangibly. How big of a pool is that people, or that like, or is that just like, you know, 50 to 100 people? It's hard to measure. I'm just sort of curious if that really puts a dent in the viewership, or if it's just that vocal minority that are really upset about it that post on Reddit, but ends up translating to, you know, maybe a couple hundred people. Just food for thought. But
my perception is also that
Chris, you're so quiet.
To have what?
You're quiet. Push that thing closer to your mouth, man.
It hasn't moved.
All right.
I don't know. Oh God.
Might just want to move that slider upwards.
I mean, I can quickly reset things and reconnect to the call.
No,
but
you're sounding better.
That's better.
There you go.
All right, cool. Yeah, I didn't actually do anything. The usual thing. I just need to buy a new microphone. This one is starting to act up a little. I think that a lot of the people who have problems with Twitch, like serious lag problems, have fewer problems with MLG, or at least that is what the sense I got during Columbus was. People were like, man, I usually have terrible lag problems with Twitch. This is better, even though I have to deal with advertisements. And so those people will be happy to, you know, move over to MLG, support the ads, because they're like, oh, look, here's a streamer that's actually giving me good quality. Like, I don't have Twitch problems because I live in North America, but I understand that people outside of North America have real problems with Twitch lag.
Right. That's very true. That's very true. I mean, certainly there are people who have said that it's worse than what they had on Twitch, and of course you can't please everyone. Some folks, it's mostly region-based. That's what a lot of people don't understand, and I think more and more are starting to understand, but it's pretty interesting. I'm more curious who will be the first to utilize this from MLG. Who is going to be their first premium content creator / promoter that actually uses the platform that isn't an MLG tournament? Any predictions on that? Huh? Do you know, Charlie?
Yeah. I can't say.
Jeez, God.
He never can.
I'm not allowed to
This
say.
is something he's actually not allowed to say, as opposed to
Person.
saying, "Oh, there's this really fancy Twitter thing, but I'm not going to tell you about it."
Yeah. I gotcha.
I'm not allowed to say.
I mean,
I would not be shocked if the groups that are looking at Daily Motion decide to take a shot on MLG instead, because Daily Motion has not proven particularly great.
fucking
Off
Daily
the gaming,
Motion.
I mean, some of the COD teams are using it as well.
That's true. It's not
Fine.
just Dota.
Yeah.
That's another aspect that I actually hadn't even really thought about. I'm tunnel visioning on Dota these days, but you're right. There are other. It is filed under Call of Duty, so that's very true. Maybe the COD people will like it. Always got to remember that MLG applies to a wider base of games than we talk about here on the morning show. So if Mr. Nips is ready, I think we should get him on here and get part 2 going, and we'll talk about the power rankings with him, and we got some questions for Maud as well. So I think that wraps up part 1 of today's morning show, and we'll be coming back pretty quick here, folks. Short break, and we're going to have Maud on the line. Don't go anywhere. Dota Radio Morning Show resumes in just a moment.